Yeah, bang bang roll. On my phone now, yeah. You'll see me holding a little kid. The kid's got a hat on his head. He's got really, really bad cancer. He has got long to live yet. And when we was at the weigh-in, I met Jimmy Tibbs. It's the first time I've seen Jimmy Tibbs for years. Jumped up in the ring, shook his hands. I was at the back. I've got photographs of that, but I was at the back. And it was good to see Jimmy. But the little kid was there as well, and I couldn't make out what the little kid was there for. I see a little kid with a hat on and all that. And anyway, Gary, he wanted to, what it was, he's not got long to live. He's got a really, really bad illness, yeah. And Gary said to me, look, the little kid wants to walk down with me, way to the ring, yeah. He said, I'm unable really to hold the little kid while I'm doing this, because I've got, the ring and all this other excitement, and I've got to keep Eubanks in my head. And it wouldn't be fair for me to hold the kid as well. I'd be more concentrating on the kid. He said, would you do me a favour? And he gave me the privilege, yeah, of walking down with his kid, and he hasn't got long to live. And do you know what? I don't very often cry or get upset, but the little kid, when I heard about his illness and this, that and the other, and I was holding his hand and he was talking to me, I had to cry, man. Not cry so much, with tears, but inwardly, mate, I was crying, I mean, it wasn't all these people there and I was holding the kid's hands. Maybe I was going to a room and had to cry because it was so sad. This little kid, that's all he wanted to do. It was Gary Stretch's, he loved Gary Stretcher. He was one of his big fans. He had all pictures and everything about Gary. And, it was such a shame that he's got to go through all this in his life. And I'd like to give my life to this little kid, for him to live that little bit longer and me to die there and then, you know what I mean? Because that's how I felt, yeah? And it broke my heart, man. And the tears was in my head and I couldn't cry, but I wanted to, yeah? And when I walked down with him and he was squeezing my little hand, he was, because we was walking too fast, really. And he wanted to be more little Gary. And he was squeezing my little hand, looking at me, please don't go too fast. And I wow, man. It ripped me apart. And when we walked to the ring, making sure everybody's out of the way, sat down with him, and he was so excited looking at Gary. He was shouting out his little voice, go on, Gary. He couldn't even talk properly. He was like, but you look at him and you think, fucking hell, man. Why is it, right? Someone like myself, who's been so wicked in his life, hurt so many people in his life, yeah? Why should I live? And this little kid has done nothing in his life, he wants to live and he can't, yeah? And just take his life from him, yeah? Just like that. And it breaks your heart, mate. It breaks your heart, you think, oh. And then when Gary lost, and I was rushing through the crowd, pushing everybody out of the way because everyone wanted to touch him and everything, all these silly girls and all that, and the other. And they brought the kid out later, and I think Gary, I'm not quite sure that Gary gave him something. I think Gary gave the parents X amount of money from his what he got, yeah. And he give him, I don't know what he give the boy other than what he give him the money, but I don't know if he give him a gift of the gloves or his shorts or whatever he give him, but give him something, yeah. And I thought to myself, Gary's got a really big heart, mate. He's got a fantastic heart, because it's Gary that made the call to the parents, to the hospital, to bring him along so he could walk down the ring with Gary, you know what I mean? And I thought, that's so good, that's so nice, you don't ever see that, and anyway, I'll put it on my phone now. You'll see the little kid, me holding the kid's hand. Yeah, man, the Gary Stretch's fight, you see me coming down, I really don't see, you do see me later, if you want to watch the video, you'll see it, yeah? But I'm with the little kid. He's got in my hand, he's got a little berry on his head, and he ain't got long to live. He's got a really bad illness, yeah? It just broke my heart, man. Broke my heart, and it should break your heart too, you know what I mean? It's such a sad case, man. Anyway, bang, 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 all, you nice one.